What up, traders? How are you doing? It's Dale here for the weekly commentary video. Let's see what's happened this week and see if there's anything coming up next week. We just had NFP and there was a bit of movement there, I think, but NFP is not really that big of a deal anymore. It's the bank statements you got to worry about. So yeah, the currencies I find aren't really that good to be trading at the moment in general. A lot of the other type of markets are where the money's flowing. So generally speaking, currencies are a bit of a bummer at the moment. The Euro US dollar is also a bummer, but we can see that it is bottoming on some support here. We're at market lows basically within since 2017. We're on these lows, and if they break, that's going to expose long term around the $1.05 mark here. So not sure if that's going to be defended or not. I guess it all depends with this Brexit stuff. But you can see that it did generate a pretty good move before, but you see how it was a very sharp response off the level. This time we got a little weak bounce and we're not really doing much here. So usually those sharp responses tell you that there is a lot of defense at that level on the bullish side there. We're not really seeing that here, so I don't really see a counter trend trade opportunity at the moment. We also had gapping from the mean the previous test as well. We don't have that here, so the ingredients aren't there, the situation's not right, and I'm just sort of, I haven't traded Euro US dollar for a long time, to be honest. Okay, the pound. So the pound, got a bit of volatility in there because of the Brexit, but we can see there's quite a decent support level here, and it may look like we are actually squeezing up through there. I think I pointed that out last week. So we may get a bullish response off that 4-hour level there. I'm on the 4-hour chart. So basically, it looks like a bit of a mess on the daily, but we can see that squeeze pattern forming here now. So really, if you're going to get fancy, you could probably catch an intraday trade here and ride out the next cycle of this squeeze pattern, but it's not really much upside potential there. So just be very careful with that. You want a convincing signal here. Look at the 6-hour. 6-hour left a rejection candle there on the 4-hour. The 6-hour, but that formed right at the market close. So I don't really trust those ones. So we'll see what happens next week. It might pop up a bit. But if that support breaks, that'll be a pretty big deal, and then obviously we'll be looking for sells on lower highs under the level. The US dollar yen is starting to move up again, so that's pretty good. We can see that very deep V-shaped bounce that came out of these lows here, so that's showing a lot of bullish strength at the moment. I'd basically just be looking for buy signals to form off higher lows with this momentum here. So it's been a slow sort of train here, but we're moving from range bottom to range top, and we just want to see some continuation of this bullish action here so we can continue the train ride up to the top of the range here. US dollar US dollar Swiss franc, that is in a squeeze pattern also. Not a very interesting market. Generally it's a bit of a mirror image of the Euro US dollar, not so much, but a little bit. At these current markets, but quite messy. We really want to focus on these structure points here to look at trades, but we don't really have anything yet. The US dollar CAD, just sort of grid trading at the moment, so we've gone through these ranges, so it's moved into the next kind of grid where it's formed another range. So if you're looking for some little sneaky range plays here, you potentially could do that. I probably would only go for bullish trades in US dollar CAD because it is coming off that channel bottom and slowly making its way to the channel top on the macro scale here. As you can see, that channel playing out. So I'd probably only be tempted, my bias would be to the upside. So it's up to you. We may see a giant sell signal form up here. The market's kind of sideways, so if the sell signal is convincing enough off a proven resistance here, it might be worth a short. But at this stage, just wait and see what we get. The Singapore dollar here is in a nice clean range at the moment, so we know what to do with that. Okay, we focus on the tops and bottoms for signals. The Aussie dollar is very flat right now. As you can see, the mean value's just gone to spaghetti and twisting around each other like that. So, you know, this is a pretty bad market to be thinking about trading at the moment. The New Zealand dollar is a little bit better, going through its range as well. We had a nice range play up here. I caught that trade, actually that rejection candle. That was a really nice 1 to 3 there after that drop. So approaching the range bottom now, so looking for strong buy signals here. We do have a little bit of a gapping situation from the mean, a little bit, not too much, but that does help when we want to catch bounces, because that sort of helps that that strong bounce effect back to the mean and potentially another range cycle. So just keep an eye out. We might even leave a note here. I've got quite a few trades going at the moment, so I really don't want to take more, but we'll leave the note in here. Look for range bounce. Yeah, we'll leave that there. The Australian New Zealand dollar is actually popped higher because of that New Zealand dollar weakness, and the Australian dollar's just stayed flat. So we're seeing the New Zealand dollar movement here, but we can see, you know, we're set up for a nice swing trade sort of potential here. If the market comes back down and retests this area here, we will be looking for buy signals to sort of catch this emerging trend here. But other than that, I don't really see much else going on. The Euro Pound looks very messy on the daily chart, but you can sort of see that we do have upper and lower boundaries here, quite well defined. So you probably find that maybe on the 4-hour chart this would look like a nice range. I wouldn't say nice, but it's there. We had a nice signal down here at the range bottom, none at the range top, so we may get a nice sell signal up here. Maybe we should adjust this a little bit. That might be a little bit more. That might be a little better there. So yeah, range in motion. Maybe we'll get a sell signal there if you're looking at the intraday charts. Gold. This was my chart of the day. I'm playing out the bounce of this structure here. It's basically structure trading, where we highlight the structure in the market and basically, you know, this is, in this case, it's a giant squeeze pattern, and we're just looking to catch the next cycle of the movement in the structure here. So that's starting to play out. We got a nice sort of bullish response after the retracement entry there, so that's really nice, especially after the NFP announcement as well. So it's still maintaining its bullish posture here, hoping to see a pop high next week. Not massive reward potential on this. We're only going to get about 3x on this. You know, really, excuse me, a little, yeah, a little bit ambitious to target outside the squeeze pattern. Probably not good practice, because there's no evidence that it's going to break. You know, you could try and do that. You could hold and just kind of hope that it would break. That's all you'd be sort of gunning on, is hope. So just sticking with a nice sweet 1 to 3 trade here and trading within the boundaries of the structure. The silver, a lot of indecision this week. Not really doing too much here. Don't really like the structure of this market at the moment, so don't really see it. I don't really see a structure. That's the problem. We may have a range going on here, potentially. That's probably about it. But and we can see the bullish rejection coming off the bottom of these lows here. That might fire off higher, but gold just looks so much cleaner. The Euro Aussie sort of climbing down now. It's got to take out these lows, but if it's going to sort of make its way to the next weekly support down here somewhere. But we've got this bullish rejection here, and there hasn't been any follow through with that yet, so it may break. If it does break, that looks good for the chart for us, because that will expose new lows and expose this weekly support. So we'll be looking for sell signals on the lower high under these level there if the market is going to break. Euro and New Zealand dollar. Look, let's just I might have to just adjust this level because it looks really ugly. There is a level there, but at the moment the support seems to be here, so we'll probably move it there for now. So we're getting a strong bounce off support. I don't really see many trade opportunities here. You can see there was a nice trend line break as well, actually. So kind of looking quite bullish at the moment. If you're looking to trade this chart, probably just looking for bullish continuation signals, buy signals on higher lows here. If this market's going to fully break out to the upside. Pound Aussie, had a trade idea here. There was a lot of it looks very congested on the daily, and I have been saying hell no to this, but if you look on, say, the 6-hour chart, you can see a bit more of a channel forming. So you see that channel carved out through there. There was a rejection candle here that I was trying to trade. I think I put it as the chart of the day, but I'm not sure. Just a couple of points shy of a retracement entry around here, so that was disappointing, and that was a nice trade too. So damn it, missed out on that one. The pound New Zealand dollar cross, sort of mid-channel, you know, we've got this resistance through here, just a little awkward. I don't really see any opportunities here. It's kind of like a squeeze pattern range within a channel. Too much crap going on, so I haven't been focused on that one at all. Pound CAD. So pound CAD, someone pointed out a breakout trap in reverse setup that formed here, and I missed that, but there was actually a second chance to get into it, so I actually took that trade, and that moved down after NFP. Just looking for a 1 to 3 here as well, so hopefully there's some continuation of that next week. This retracement entry would have been absolutely golden if we went for that, but you know, basically we just got a nice sell signal on a lower high coming off these weekly highs up here, so just catching some bearish continuation here. And like I said, there's a bit of support down here, so just looking for a 1 to 3 trade, see if I can grab that. Euro CAD, look, let me just skip these charts if I don't find anything interesting. The charts have been flat, no point. The New Zealand dollar CAD here, got a bit of life in there. Really we'd be looking for sell signals on lower highs, preferably up here if it does correct and give us a juicy sell signal. But I'm not sure if it's going to do that. It looks like it's just going to plummet straight to the range bottom. If it does that though, we'll have that overextension from the mean, and we may have a really good mean reversion opportunity, basically cooked up down here if the market just keeps dropping. And you can see that we got some good bullish responses off this level before, so that could be a scenario that might unfold in the next week or two. So the yen pairs, pretty flat at the moment. You know, we've got a bit of a range on the Aussie yen. You know, you'd probably have to go intraday to trade that. So these yen pairs, not interesting. We had a breakout of the CAD yen. Where's my mean value? So yeah, we had this breakout here of this channel, and basically, you know, if you want to trade this, looking for some continuation of that. Got a nice little cluster of candles here. Sometimes you can use those as a breakout signal. You know, you catch the break of the high of those. Because it's the CAD yen, you'd probably want to catch a break of the high during the US session and see if you can catch a continuation there, and you know, you'd have your stop down here somewhere. No, look to sell on lower high. I can see, yeah, that's my notes from last week. We're not really getting much of a bearish response here though. You know, if you want to, you could potentially trade a breakout of these guys here, but again, we're dealing with the CAD, so best to do that in the US session. So there's conflicting ideas here. Where was it? CAD yen, you know, you'd want to trade a bullish breakout, and CAD Swiss franc, you'd want to trade oh man, you could trade a bullish breakout here as well. It would be a breakout of structure, I guess. This sort of trend line sort of developed here, but yeah, I guess there's a lot of tightening up on these CAD cross pairs that potentially could break out next week. Let's adjust that level a little bit there. Don't see much going on here. Another sort of grid situation where we have the sort of grid up here, the range, and then it's moved into the next grid. Just basically you would be trading the range here, so you'd have to go intraday potentially to catch anything good. So Euro Swiss franc, not a chart that I watch, but we've got a nice bounce off that level here. You can see that's a pretty major turning point for the Euro CAD, so we may see some bullish follow through there. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, putting some pressure on that support. So if we do break that next week, you know what to do. We go and look for the sell signals on lower highs there if the breakout maintains and we get further weakness down here. Oil is an absolute champion at the moment for it definitely wins the trend of the week or the month. So yeah, if you can get a buy signal on oil, like we've got a nice swing level through here. I talk about this every week, but I still just, I don't know, I haven't managed to catch anything yet. I've been in other trades and just haven't had the opportunity to do it. Just looking for a buy signal on a higher low here. You really want to kind of watch oil if you're not in any trades right now, because that's where the money is really flowing and it's easy. I mean, you catch these buy signals around the mean value, around the higher lows and stuff. You know, it's easy money pretty much if the trend continues anyway. So UK popping higher there, was just kind of waiting for a buy signal around here, but it didn't retrace. So you can sort of see the strength in the market at the moment of oil. It's just absolutely gunning. And I don't know if you remember me saying, like a few months back, I did kind of call out that oil looked like it was going to go really bullish, based just on a technical chart pattern, really. This inverted head and shoulders pattern. This was back in, no, was that last year that I was saying that? Probably was. I think it was. Yeah, that was 2017. So there's the inverted head and shoulders sitting on the bottom of a massive drop. That's a classic sign of a reversal there. When you get a massive drop, inverted head and shoulders, and then a breakout. But this market actually took another dive down, but it's recovering again. So that was 2017 I said that. So it wasn't a couple of months ago. So yeah, that's the weekly. Anyway, the trend's here now. Ride the trend out while it's here. The S&P looking pretty good as well, breaking into new highs here, so we definitely want to be looking at the focus points for the trend, swing levels and the mean value, looking at areas where the market's likely to correct to and bounce back off and continue with the trend. That's probably around this area here. So any kind of retracement and sort of buy signal, we definitely want to be looking at that. The US markets, so we've got US oil and the US, the S&P, they're actually doing quite well, whereas the UK one is not, and the Dow is not doing as well as, although the Dow is a US market, it's not doing as well as the S&P. So if you're looking to get into these markets, either the US oil or the S&P, they're a lot stronger at the moment. So if you get into a trade, it's likely to have better follow through. So you can see the Dow is sort of struggling to push into those highs. It is getting there, but the S&P is massively leading it. The US dollar index chart, I've got my little note there, look to sell up there. Definitely a very strong resistance level up there. Any sort of sell signal up there is likely to produce something. So just really waiting for the market to come up and test that. I'm not really interested in any trades in the interim there. There's not much upside potential for any buy signals there. So just waiting for the test. Anybody watching this Chinese index here? Because it's freaking exploding again, and had a nice little sort of small cluster of candles that it broke out of there. That's just like a mini squeeze pattern here that it kind of broke out of. It just seems like really simple, like market structure that's happening here, like really easy flowing price action. Like probably, you know, currencies are all over the place. They're very noisy and whipping around up and down. This is just so clean, you know. So watch this space. Definitely, if you've got this, it's the China 500, whatever you call it, whatever the Chinese index is called. You know, look for buy signals on higher lows. So, you know, while the trend's here, try and milk it. Bitcoin, I thought there was going to be a mean reversion. That was not the case at all, and I don't know, there's still maybe, but the thing with cryptocurrency is last time this happened, it's like the hype train. Cryptocurrency traders love hype trains. It's just once the ball gets rolling, the hype builds up, and then more and more, it's like self-fulfilling, and then you get a bubble. So, like we had last time. So I don't know if this is a hype train building up. The market's broken out, so more people are getting involved, and it's going to maintain its bullishness here, because that was a pretty big jump, and there hasn't been much of a correction here. So, Ethereum is basically, we had a bit of a correction there, but its bullish activity is picking up again. I had this Litecoin trade, pretty aggressive. What was it? I was just trading a bounce, I think, on the 8 hour here. So just trading that bounce. We had that rejection wick come in here as well. So got some bullish follow through. Not really the way I normally would trade, but I just know that these crypto markets, when they want to explode, they can explode. So I'm just looking for any excuse kind of to get in, and we'll see how this one goes. It hasn't corrected or anything like that. We had 2 days of inactivity, so if it does pop, I'm confident that we'll get a good run out of this and hit my target. Bitcoin Cash is very strong at the moment as well. They're all strong. I haven't looked at the other crypto, like the crypto scene at all. Like, I imagine there's so many freaking altcoins right now. Like, some of my crypto brokers that I have accounts with, they're sending me emails all the time. Oh, we got this coin now. Oh, we got this coin. We got this. I don't follow the crypto scene, very closely, so I don't know what all these. There's coins for everything. I mean, Domino's probably have their own coin, pizza coin. Like, every company's doing it. But these are the ones that Go Markets have. Actually, maybe they've got more now, because they don't let you know. No, they don't. So crypto, this is what they got. Ripple, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin. Probably the main ones anyway. I'm sure there's some popular ones, on the leaderboard, but I guess these are the most liquid ones. Ripple is struggling to get going. I have Ripple. I bought it at like $2 though, so I got a long way to go before I break even again. But I was thinking about buying more Ripple while it's 35 cents. What do you guys think? Is there any crypto junkies here that know about this stuff? All the research I've done on Ripple looks really promising. People are pretty excited about it that are doing their research and stuff. Apparently banks are adopting it, and it's actually being used in the world today. There was one website calling for a $20 increase or something in 2019. They always say that, though, that make these silly predictions, but I don't know. I was thinking about getting more Ripple. What do you guys think? Because this one is so cheap at the moment, and it's one of the popular cryptocurrencies out there. So when it gets going, that could be massive return on investment. So thinking about doing that. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I'll leave you there. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys for next week's trading. Hope this week went well for you, and hopefully we'll catch something, or we'll write out some good trends next week.